Alrighty, so today we're going to start our next unit, and I want to remind you guys of a few things before we get started. For the first example in your book, and what we're going to start with today is how to convert an equation if it's not really in quite the right format that you're wanting to use. So this first example is going to do just that. Let me write this down. It says y equals 2/5 x plus 14. Okay, now in this case, it's asking us to do this into standard form. Okay, and standard form of an equation is what we use sometimes. We use it, it's called ax plus by equals c. Okay, and so we're trying to find the a, b, and c of this equation. Now, the equation that we are given is in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is what you guys are used to using. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So we're taking this slope-intercept form and we're going to convert it to standard form. Now, the first thing that I would do with this equation is I would think to myself, okay, I need the ax plus by equals c. And so what I'm going to do is I want to move the x to the same side as what the y is. So I'm going to subtract 2/5 x from both sides of the equation. So now I have negative 2/5 x plus y equals 14. So that's kind of my first step here is I want the x and the y on the same side. Okay. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to get rid of this fraction. I also want to get rid of the negative, because one special thing about standard form is that that a needs to be a positive whole number. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to multiply both sides times -5. That's going to get rid of this fraction for me. So I have -5 times negative 2/5 x. So I end up with just 2x. My -5 also gets distributed to the y. So now I have -5y equals, and then 14 times -5 is -70. Okay, so now I have converted it to standard form. And if I were to identify what is my a is 2. I'm just going to write that. My b is -5. And my c is -70. All right, so that's kind of how we convert that to standard form. We are going to do this with one more problem. So I'm going to go ahead and erase. If you need to come back and see that, just rewind. Not a big deal. And I'm going to write another question up here on the board. Okay, so this time our question is going to be 2y equals 10x minus 16. And remember, what we're going for is ax, plus by equals c. So again, I want to move my x over to the other side. So I have -10x plus 2y equals -16. All right. And then what I still need to do is I need to change this so that it is a positive number. Okay. I definitely don't want this as a negative. So I'm going to divide this by -1. I suppose I could do it by 2 if I wanted, because then this y would be like the most simplified. I think I'll do that. I'm going to divide by -2. Okay, so -10 divided by -2 is 5x. 2 divided by -2 is -1, which I'll put my y with it. And -16, I forgot to write divide by 2 over here, is -8. No, we're dividing by -2, so this is now +8. Okay, so my a is 5. My b is -1. That's the silent one right in front of there. And my c is +8. Okay, so that's how we're doing this kind of problem. And I think I'm going to stop the video here. That way you kind of have a short one. If you go to your homework section, you can do anything with example 1. That's what we just did.